Happy weekend, folks. Hope all is well. I'm coming to you from my sukkah, my booth, my tabernacle. It's the last evening of the holiday of Sukkot. Tomorrow night we have another holiday, the rejoicing of the law, when we finish reading the Bible, the last book in the Deuteronomy. So the holiday season's almost at the end, or the climax, I would say. L'chaim, folks, a nice cup of cherry berry tea. L'chaim, and I'm smoking still in my Prince pipe this delicious Satlif ready rubbed. I hope all is well with everyone. I've been following a very interesting discussion on the videos between Ben, the Artful Codger, and Simon London Calling, the famous debate among pipe smokers. How are we meant to go about the hobby? Two schools of thought, the codger and what I call the connoisseur. I think everybody really agrees that the whole purpose of the hobby is to enjoy ourselves. Sorry about that, I just got distracted by some family stuff. I do think we're very spoilt today, having so many tobaccos out there. And sometimes I do feel that on a personal level, not enough attention. I don't give enough attention to every single tobacco. I think some of us feel there's some kind of holy grail out there we're trying to get hands on. We never finally reach. And it's come to, then what's happened to me on my journey is I've come to a situation now where I can almost smoke everything as long as it doesn't have a big nicotine hit and it's not too burley-ish. But this for me, this ready rub, has been a very nice burley experience for me. Even though my friend Brian added a little bit of Black Cavendish to it, so it's a little bit sweeter. I did find after smoking about 5 or 6 bowls, one after the other, over a week and a half, I've certainly developed a great love to this tobacco. And it's an amazing hobby. There's so many ways of doing so many different things and so many different schools of thought, and all of them are right. Beautiful, beautiful smoke. The first time I smoked this tobacco, I realized it just had a real traditional kind of smoke to it. Then I discovered that I think it's a copy of Wedgeworth, ready rubbed, an old OTC favorite. So they definitely got the recipe right here. There's a lot to be said about those old tobaccos. Enough about tobaccos. I thought I'll tell a tale, a story. Haven't done it for a long time. A Hasidic tale. Was a great rabbi. His name was Rabbi Israel Baal Shem Tov. He lived about 320 years ago, the founder of the Hasidic movement. And basically, at that time in Jewish history, you had great scholars, sorry about that, and you had a lot of people who were completely ignorant, who didn't know how to read. The Baal Shem Tov felt that the scholars were lacking the sincerity of the simple people, and the simple people should also become more educated as well. That really was his idea. At the beginning, the Hasidic movement really appealed much more to the simple people, people that would serve God with a lot of love, and a lot of fervor, and singing and excitement. And they were simple, good people. So they tell the story of Rosh Hashanah, the New Year, in the Baal Shem Tov synagogue. It was a very, very uplifting prayer service, and people were very, very uplifted and very, very spiritual and very, very beautiful time. A time, beginning a new year, and we set our previous year's problems aside, and we take upon ourselves new resolutions to become better people. During the prayer service, one of the people over there had in his pocket a little container of tobacco. It fell out of his pocket, tobacco spilled on the floor, and he started picking up the tobacco from the floor. One of the people seeing this in the synagogue felt this was very, very inappropriate on such a holy day, because on the day of Rosh Hashanah, one doesn't generally smoke. I suppose one could, it's not against the law, but it's a holy day. Maybe some people do smoke, but this guy kind of felt in such a holy time to see this person picking up tobacco from the floor of the synagogue, where his mind should be involved in prayer and repentance. This was totally inappropriate. Friends, sometimes when we have bad thoughts about somebody, that kind of causes a kind of like a blackout in our memory, in our brain. We're no longer able to see the good in that person. Unfortunately, because of this person's bad thoughts, he felt very inadequate in the synagogue. He tried to pray as much as he could, was unable to pray. He came to the day of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, and this fellow that, was basically put off by seeing someone picking up tobacco in the synagogue in Rosh Hashanah. Came Day of Atonement and he couldn't pray. It was a holiday of Sukkot and he couldn't pray. Every time he opened books, it is sometimes we're just unable to concentrate. He began to do some self-contemplation and came to the consideration this could be because he thought bad of this person picking tobacco up in the synagogue on the holy day. He didn't know how to go about it. Well, the story comes the last night of Sukkot, which is tonight. It was last night of Sukkot, which we call Hoshana Rabbah. And the holy Baal Shem Tov, the great rabbi, invited some of his closest followers and disciples to join him in his sukkah, like I'm sitting in my sukkah. The Baal Shem Tov took out his pipe. Yes, he had to smoke the pipe. The Baal Shem Tov took out his pipe, lit the pipe, and this beautiful sweet smell filled the room. And our friend in the story had these bad thoughts about his friend, smelt the tobacco. And it got him thinking that everything that God gives us in this world is for us to enjoy it and to learn how to enjoy it in an appropriate way. And he started thinking of the whole process of tobacco. I think it was found by the Indians, brought to America, then brought around the whole world. And then he began to think that this Jew that picked up his tobacco on the holy day of the year, he picked it up because he realized that tobacco for him wasn't only something that he smoked for his enjoyment, it's something that helps him in the service of God. Many of us, smoke a pipe. It helps us to meditate, to discuss. It relaxes us. And his whole opinion on this person that picked up the tobacco on the holy day of the year from the floor of the synagogue was transformed. Suddenly, he saw the holy Baal Shem Tov look at him. And he felt this negative feelings that he had were removed from his heart, and he felt like a new person, was able to concentrate and able to read and to pray and to study, etc., etc. There's a story which happened tonight on the last day of Sukkot. The Holy Baal Shem Tov and his pipe. Anyway, little tale, Hasidic tale. I think the message here is to see the good in every single person. I think for us pipe smokers, there's a special message here. To see the good in everyone. The pipe tobacco and smoking is a kind of service, I would say. I don't want to turn this into a rant, but I'm sure everyone is familiar that in the temple, part of the service was incense. In Hebrew, it's called ketoret. And this device in Hebrew is called a mikteret. I've also been told by many people that also in the church, incense is also used in the service. So it's a Christo-Judeo tradition. There's something special about smoke. There's something special about tobacco. I'd like to wish everybody a happy New Year. A lot of sweet smokes. God bless you all. It's easy saying to everyone, take it easy. All the best. God bless.